What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast. Back once again. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got the co-host, Amanda, repping her Bills.
Yeah, I'm a
Excited.
Bills fan, guys. That's it. No other teams.
We got All-Pro Abe. John, great to have you on the show as always.
Oh, you got
And
all four Abe, and you got Mama Abe too. She in the background though, so
hell
you're
yeah.
snoring. That's Maggie.
If she's got any hot takes, just shout them out.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Um, let's get into this. So let's start with Thursday night. It's the week 3 recap. Thursday night, we had the Dolphins at the Bills. Game was tied at halftime, 14-all, but the Bills pull away in the second half to win 31-21. Amanda, your Bills took care of business, but Miami actually, to their credit, fought pretty hard and made this a game until Tua's costly interception late.
Yeah, and that roughing the punter that was
Yeah,
so stupid.
yeah.
Um, so just some costly mistakes there, but I was excited to see the Dolphins like have some life because all season so far we've just been like do something. So it was nice to see
Mhm.
a little bit of life out of that team. And Tua wasn't doing too bad there. I mean, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns for him, so a pretty solid start for him based off of, I mean, he's only improving week to week, so maybe they'll actually win next week.
Yeah, you pretty much called this, John. You said it would be a closer game and the Bills would kind of pull away late. It went exactly to form. The Dolphins gave it their best effort, but just couldn't get a win. They're still winless.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say their best effort. I think it was one of those. I'm on the bottom and I gotta fight up. It's like if you
Yeah.
seen a fish on the bottom of the pool. Like I ain't even trying. Like I'm not saying they were trying to win, but they wanted to look like football team finally. And
Mhm.
I think that's what they did. They just looked like they were playing football. You seen except for what that lady said about Tyreek Hill. I think that was uncalled for at the time, but everything else was moving smoothly. I think they played like they wanted to win. And playing Buffalo should bring that out you, and it's definitely going to help them next week when they play the Jets. I think stuff like this is going to be what they need for the rest of the year, especially if Mike McDonald, when you want to keep his job, you got to see
Yeah.
this. Even if you lose, but you see your team wanting to fight, you seeing them trying to make plays down the field, you seeing like everyone, especially in the first half. First half, I wasn't surprised because I'm like, this team played so bad last week, and it was so embarrassing. Only thing they got to do is stick to the playbook. They didn't have to be amazing. They just had to do their plays and just no mistakes. I felt like they didn't have as many mistakes, and that's why they played well. And also Buffalo, if you look at Miami on your schedule, they're thinking like, should be an easy one at home. We're gonna get this and just move on. And they kind of like at the end, they were like, okay, let's wake up, let's get right. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Amanda, I just think Josh Allen is so difficult to defend at this point in his career. I saw the play where he's like running towards, like he's going to run somebody over into the end zone and like fakes at the last second, does that little quick pitch for a
Mhm.
touchdown pass. When he can do all that, it's like, how do you defend the guy?
He's getting really good at his fake outs. I've noticed, like, especially the last 2 seasons. Like, I feel like his first couple years in the NFL, his reads were so obvious. Like, even as a viewer
Mhm.
at home, like you could see him like tracking people. But lately, he's been really good about faking out the defensive line, and I mean, I think it's just making them better. And I'm really enjoying watching that. I will say, running backs had a fun time in this game. We were talking about running backs a lot last season. Achan really showed up in this one, 91 yards for Miami, and we've had a couple rough games for him, so I'm excited to see him kind of get going again. I think they need to lean more heavily on that running game moving forward.
Yeah, and they got a little something out of rookie running back Ollie Gordon as well.
Mhm.
So maybe the run game can help the Dolphins get going. John, when you see that interception by Terrell Bernard and Tua, he's trying to look him off, like he's looking outside, and then he comes back inside, but he doesn't double check. And it looked like film study. Terrell Bernard knew it was coming the whole way and jumped it. Is that how you saw it? Is that film study or is that more on Tua?
I would say it's on Tua because he was just too comfortable. When you're playing well, when you're doing certain things, you tend to drift away and like everything is working. So you'll make a pass that you necessarily wouldn't make if you were focused in the game. And it's just about being in the groove. He was in the groove before that interception. They were playing well. His team like they had an opportunity to win, and he kind of like just threw it almost no look. And
Yeah.
I think that was just being too confident, too comfortable in the moment at the time. I don't think it was necessarily, a game losing thing, but I definitely think it took some air out of the team because at that moment, all you had to do was not turn the ball over, and
Mhm.
keep your team on the field, like I said. And that's the mistakes that would end up losing the game for them. But it was a good game all around. Like for them, like, they say that win, you ain't supposed to take a loss as a victory loss or whatever they call that junk. But this is one of the things that I think going into the Jets game is going to really help them. If they seen that they got a running back that can run. The Jets, both teams need a win. So I think it's going to be
Yeah.
very smooth for them to play well, even though I think the Jets are going to get them. But how they played against the Bills, I don't know.
And that Miami defense, I mean, coming into this week, so far in week one and week two, they only had two real defensive stops in their whole season so far. So you compare that to this game, they forced punts on three consecutive drives going into the
Yeah.
second half. So this defense is really waking up. And I mean, the roughing the punter thing, they made some stupid mistakes, but I'm sure that they've gone over that and they're going to work on that moving forward. So I'm hoping the Jets game stays close and competitive because this could be a pretty fun matchup.
Yeah, for two winless teams, I'm actually interested to watch that
I
game.
love trash. I love when trash fights it out. It's fun.
Well, speaking of trash,
Oh
let's talk
no.
about the
All
Packers
right.
Browns game.
All right.
And
I'll quit faking, guys.
but I mean, Amanda, really, this was a game where the Packers should have put this team away a lot earlier. They were, to their credit, the Browns defense played really well. Jim Schwartz is doing a great job on
They
that side
played
of the
so
ball.
well. And that is a hard stadium to play in as an away team. It is so
Yeah.
loud. The fans are super aggressive. They're very supportive of their team. I mean, going to the dog pound is generally rough, but that defense really kicked it up in this one. I would just like to say, I do not like the Packers O-line. I have issues with a couple players on it. Anthony Belton, I don't like. Zach Tom being out early in the game and then being out this coming week is definitely a red flag. Um, in the NFL, after a game, every player on the team is rated, for our listeners who may not know. The five lowest rated people on the Packers were all five offensive linemen. I mean, I don't know what else you need to know. Like, we had 14 penalties for 75 yards, which tells you an average of 5 yards per penalty. They were all offensive false start offsides at the line of scrimmage things, which is all the fault of the O-line. So if we can work that out, get our veteran players back healthy again, I think this game would have gone the other way. But there is no excuse for that many penalties and that many dumb mistakes.
Amanda, do you blame Matt LaFleur or Jordan Love for that interception late? That interception really swung momentum, gave the Browns great field position, and allowed them to go tie the game. It's 3rd and 3. You got the lead. It's late in the game. Just run the ball, right?
Yeah, I would have liked to run ball there. I feel like it was just they were in their heads. I don't know exactly what happened. If that was the turning point, the blocked field goal was the turning point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like if the 10th, 11th, 12th penalty, it just it it was a rough game. I'm okay with losing here. We've got a bye week in 2 weeks. I don't think we'll lose when we go to Dallas with Micah Parsons this coming weekend. Um, but if you're gonna take a loss at some point, I would rather take it early and not have the weight of the, oh, we're still undefeated going into week 8 thing. I think that's just a really heavy thing to carry, and I'd rather just get it out of the way and fix the mistakes early.
Yeah. Um, John, what a crazy game. I never in a million years would have thought the Browns were going to steal that one, but the Packers let them hang around, and the Browns took advantage of it.
Well, I think the offense just didn't come to play for both teams, which we knew about with the Browns.
Mhm.
We knew the Browns offense was not going to be a high power offense. We knew that they couldn't do much. But I think the D line for both teams, it was kind of like, Myles Garrett, pretty much against that D line. And I think that was the main focus for the Cleveland Browns. I think they came out more assertive, like, okay, we know he's going to pass a lot, so it's on us to make this game close. And they did a great job of keeping the score down. Jordan Love was running around like a chicken with his head cut off, but they
Mhm.
was doing such great. I mean, they were doing such great things to keep him moving. But also, Green Bay's D line came with the same mentality. They were thinking,
Yeah.
look, we got a quarterback that can't run. He's like 40 years old. We're going to tee off. We're going to get some sacks. Garrett is still pressing the pockets. Having Parsons there definitely is helping his career because they're
Oh,
focusing on somebody else. But he's taking
absolutely.
advantage of the situation. So for me, I think it was pretty much the offenses didn't come out to play. I think
Yeah.
the defense played well, and both sides of the D line. Like I don't know what the scoring was, but if you look at it, when it comes to just a D line play and just a defensive like play calls, everything was perfect for most of the game. And I think Cleveland
Mhm.
did deserve to win this game because Green
Absolutely.
Bay did not come to play. I think if Green Bay was to play them again, like this year, it would be
Oh
a
yeah.
totally score because they'll kind of realize maybe we need to run the ball more and keep
Mhm.
Miles a little calm, and then we could throw the ball here and there because Golden didn't really have a great game. No one on their team really had a great game. So I think if they were, like I said, if they were to play them again, it would be a different result. But this
Yeah.
is kind of like, okay, like Amanda said, our line isn't as great as I thought it was. It was kind of uncovered this
Mhm.
week with a not a subpar defense, but a great defensive line. But the cornerbacks were not like that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like that you brought up Rashawn Gary because he's never had a double-digit sack number in any season. Micah Parsons there draws attention away from him. He's on his way to have 12 sacks this season. Like if his numbers stay up. So I love that he's kind of getting his time to shine. Like Parsons is very productive, but sometimes on paper you don't see it as much for
Right.
these other veteran players. So I love Rashawn Gary just kind of beefing his numbers up a little bit. I mean, he's always been a great player, but you don't see it on paper when you're looking at his stats historically.
Well, so if you're worried about the Packers having a down game offensively and losing a game they shouldn't have lost to the Browns, don't worry because the things are about to change in week 4 on Sunday Night Football. The Packers are going to be playing the Cowboys. And as a Bears fan, let me just say that Cowboys defense is atrocious. So it's a great opportunity for the Packers to get their offense right. Go put up 30 points on national TV and forget about the struggles.
Yeah, and then heading into a bye week the next week, they're going to be ready to just wreck somebody and go home and take a break.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm hoping they definitely got to go after Diggs. Diggs is
Hmm.
definitely became a like, dude, he's bad out there. Like Golden should be like, look, just throw it. I don't care what you just throw it. Give it to me anytime you can because they look so bad on defense. It was not even it was not cute at all to put that stuff on tape and just to get exposed like that.
Hmm.
And not saying that even if they had Michael Parsons, that secondary was just no.
Yeah. Yeah, they need Deron Bland back. Kyer Elam has been an absolute liability out there. So yeah, things are not looking good in Dallas. Let's talk about the Colts at the Titans. Colts jump out to a 27-6 lead and win easily, 41-20. Amanda, how about the first play of the game? Cam Ward throws a pick six to Kenny Moore.
I the second that happened, I was like, Jesus. And like I haven't really defended him so far. There's been a lot of memes about him. Like, who do they compare him to? Um, they say it's
I'm
so
not
and so
sure.
in a different font. But man, what a rough start to that game. I almost felt bad.
It was just a mismatch. John, this Colts team is firing on all cylinders right now. That O line, Daniel Jones is playing well, and Jonathan Taylor is not slowing down one bit.
It's all Indiana Jones. I don't care what y'all say. It's all him. It has nothing to do with the line. It has nothing to do with the running game. They know that he can throw this ball. Like seeing him progress, and as much as we want to say, he wasn't that kind of quarterback with the Giants, and he bet on himself, man. He bet on himself. Like I'm a back this guy, and I think I'm better than this guy. And he came in there and showing that he is a all pro type quarterback. And when you have that confidence in a quarterback that the difference, and I'm not talking about Jordan Love right now, but I'm just going to talk about what happened, how you talked about the O-line. When a quarterback plays like Indiana Jones is playing now, the O-line steps his game up. You don't see him getting
Yeah.
hit. You don't see him getting touched. And I'm understanding this is the Titans, and we were like, oh, they defense ain't all that. They don't have really a great pass rusher, but they have confidence in Daniel Jones. They have confidence that this quarterback can get it done. That's what Green Bay has to have. Green Bay has to get these old linemen. I don't care. You don't have to be an all-pro lineman to protect your quarterback. You know what I mean? You don't have to be the best guy, but watch how Daniel Jones is in the pocket and how comfortable he is. Like whether he moves around, steps up, nobody's getting close to him. And when they get close to him, he has the consistency to throw the ball. He's not running out of the pocket trying to make, he's not doing the leg thing. And this is a game they should have won like this.
There's nothing I
Well,
love more than when a quarterback doesn't look like they're going to be a good player in the NFL and they get a shot on a new team that believes in them and it like their career is revived. Like we saw
Right.
that with Baker Mayfield. I mean, he was completely scapegoated by the Browns, used as a practice squad DB in
Mhm.
Carolina, and then Tampa Bay takes a chance on him, and look what he's doing. Like comeback drives in the last minute of each game so far this season. Like I am so excited for Daniel Jones because I did not see this coming. I'm stoked for them. I mean, they look so good. And Jonathan Taylor, 3 scores.
Yeah,
That's
Lead,
amazing.
he's going crazy. And I'm starting to think, I mean, Tyler Warren, I loved him coming into the draft.
Hmm.
He's so versatile. They line him up at fullback. He's a great blocker. He can go out there and catch. He's a quarterback's best friend. And I'm starting to think the Bears made the wrong decision taking Colston Loveland ahead of him because Tyler Warren is fitting in so well. And I think it's just the combination of it all in Indy, the way it's absolutely rolling right now. Daniel Jones' numbers are comparable with Josh Allen 6 touchdowns, no turnovers. He's in the MVP conversation. None of us would have anticipated that going into the season.
How are we
Um,
feeling about Brian Callahan with his Titans start this season? Do we think his job is going to be on the line? Do you think they'll give him some extra time with a rookie quarterback? Because
well,
that's
he's no longer calling plays. He gives up play calling. He's noticing it. Titans fans are not happy with him. They're impatient. They're booing. Um, I don't know, John. I mean, they're definitely struggling. 7 targets to Calvin Ridley for just 1 catch. Obviously, something's not working offensively.
No, it's just the expectation we have. This is what a quarterback, as a rookie quarterback, supposed to look like. It's just the expectation of the last few years. We've seen these guys come in, in Washington and Houston, and they came in as rookies, and they just playing like lights out. He doesn't
Yeah.
have that team Houston had. He didn't have the same team that DC had. So I'm sorry, Washington had. So it's a big difference. You got to understand this is what a rookie quarterback is supposed to look like. He's going to make mistakes. Saying he threw a pick for the first play of the game. So what? He's a rookie quarterback. Y'all signed up for this. Y'all took him number one. Y'all knew that it's a possibility he's going to still have them same mindsets like how we talking about Daniel Jones. Same things. They had a mindset, and you don't get that guy a chance to develop. It's not always going to be you're going to get a perfect guy in a perfect situation that have the greatest coach to coach him, or you're going to have a guy that is NFL ready. Like I said, in Miami, he played well, but also he got some bad habits, sitting in the pocket, thinking that he got all day, just patting the ball. Because if you look at the clips, he'll just sit here like this and won't move his feet, won't look, and just throw it. That's not the NFL, and that's about getting experienced. And if you watch him in the pocket, he's really not comfortable how he steps up, how he needs to run the ball, and even those sidearm throws that work for some guys, like as a rookie, we don't really want to see that because sometimes it could be dangerous, just like that first play.
A lot about this Colts team in Week 4 at the Rams. I'm going to go ahead and say the Rams are going to win this one and bring the Colts back down to earth a little bit.
yeah.
Sorry, Amanda.
I was just going to say, I think the turning point in this game was that delay of game penalty that turned the 57-yard field goal into a 62-yard try that they missed going into the half. I don't know if you guys could hear it on the broadcast if you were tuned in at that point. The stadium started chanting "Fire Callahan."
Yeah, because
And I could
you're
hear it
coming
on the
out of a
TV
timeout.
broadcast.
Yeah, how do you come out of a timeout and get a delay a game?
Oh, hey, I understand that it happened in Atlanta too. It's like it's a copycat league around here, man. Like when stuff go wrong, like block kicks happen every week, then they block it, block it, block it.
Oh,
Yeah,
there were
it's
so
same.
many block kicks this week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Also,
it's
this
like contagious.
this week there were 7 games decided with a winning score in the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. It's the most games like that in a day since the merger in 1970.
This
I can
is
see
why we
that.
love the NFL, the
It was
parody.
crazy football this week. I
Yeah,
loved it. It was a
so
mess.
good. My picks could have been better, but we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, our picks were rough. I'm
Well,
still
your
winning,
picks are a
guys.
little
Don't
better
worry.
than mine. You're up 4 games now, John. She's up 4 games. I'm still gonna
Oh,
win.
hey, bro,
Don't
hey,
worry.
bro, hey, bro, you talking to the? Don't talk to the choir. Look, I'm listening to the band director, and she's the band director. You're just some guy in the crowd. I don't right now.
I
Look,
may
hey,
be
man, just
sponsored
keep
by
me on
Palatine.
beat. Amanda, just keep me on beat. I ain't worrying about the little hecklers. We ain't got no hecklers.
What's
That's bad.
hilarious is I was almost dead the entire weekend. I've been sick off my ass, sleeping 12 hours at night, like half delirious. I didn't even realize Eberflus was with Dallas for like 30 minutes after Alex said something because I forgot he was there. Like I was a mess, and my picks still beat Alex's. So
Bengals had an absolutely bad day in Minnesota. uh, losing 34-3 at halftime. This game got out of hand with quickness. Game was 48-10. The final, Cincinnati. The Vikings win 48-10. And Amanda, how about Vikings corner Isaiah Rodgers with a pick six, a fumble return for touchdown? He went crazy.
I think statistically that is the best defensive player performance in NFL history. If you look at his stats and his points,
Ridiculous.
ridiculous.
That was
So
crazy.
good.
It was crazy. I would have loved to have a stat line like that. That's like a Pro Bowl right there. Like I'm in the Pro Bowl right
He scored more points than Green Bay. That's
now.
fucking
Right.
embarrassing.
No,
This is
I think the team is using, not having Joe Burrow as an excuse though, and they can't do that. I don't care like who you're playing. You can't come get beat like that. Like I know Joe is the guy, but it can't be that big of a fall off. It can't be that big of a fall off because you still have a running back, you still have a defense, which the defense has always been this way. But as an offense, we got to do something to keep us in the game. Like it can't be that big of a fall off, like from one
Hold
guy. And I'm not
hold
saying
up
it's not.
though. Hold up. Yes, it can. He's played 5 quarters. Do you know how many interceptions he has through 5 quarters? Five. He's throwing a
But they
pick
won.
a
But they
quarter.
won. They won that one game though.
Yeah,
yeah.
barely. Yeah, he had a
It's
Jared Goff game, 3-3.
you can't
Well,
just come. You just can't doodle it off the next game. You can't just be like that was the whole
So bad.
team. It wasn't just the quarterback. It was the whole team. Like
yeah.
we don't have so it's terrible now. We can't do anything. No, you got to come out here and play. Everybody's still getting paid. Like no, I don't like I know like when Matt Ryan was out for a game, I knew we weren't gonna have the same sensation, but we still gonna go out there and play hard. Like come on, you got to be realistic. You can't just be like, okay, well, we're gonna trick it off because Joe ain't here.
Well, was
Well,
it 2 seasons ago when Joe Burrow was injured last time and Jake Browning came in and carried them over? They were calling him Jake Brady and shit. What happened to that Jake Browning?
Well, I think the Bengals were hoping that they could get that out of him, and that he would be, they're hoping that he's borderline a starter, that he's can come in
Borderline.
and keep winning games. But I don't think he is that guy. I think he's a backup for a reason. And if I'm the Bengals, yeah, you hope that you can get by and keep winning with him. But at some point, since he needs to be smart and go get an upgrade, go trade for Jameis Winston, go trade for Kirk Cousins. Get somebody that gives you some upside.
They can't afford Kirk Cousins' contract. They've paid too much to the rest of their offense, who is now recovering from an injury.
They can figure it out somehow.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
I think Jameis would make sense if they could afford him.
Yeah.
I have a funny stat that the Vikings are 15-3 when Kevin O'Connell has a redhead at QB.
Only Amanda would find that stat. The reason the Vikings won this game was because they're finally healthy defensively. They got Van Ginkel back. They got Harrison Smith back. They got Darisaw back. The Vikings were healthy and they just jumped all over. When you score defensively, that's a big boost too. Uh, but I
Also,
mean,
speaking of them being healthy, do you see who's coming back next week?
who's that?
Jordan Addison is reinstated to the 53-man roster.
There you go. That'll help. But
Hmm.
but is Carson Wentz capable of keeping this rolling? They got one win with him. Is he going to keep it up until J.J. McCarthy gets back? In week 4, the Vikings are playing the Steelers in Dublin, Ireland. Yeah, what do you think? I mean, I don't see the Vikings beating the Steelers in Ireland, John.
Do you think
Uh,
Carson Wentz is a step down from JJ McCarthy though, or equal to?
I think Wentz should be the starter until they.
Hmm.
I wouldn't put JJ back in. I'm just saying that I think he still is in the learning phase. You just watch the Falcons game. I mean, the first game was kind of like a fluke. The Falcons game just he don't know the calls right. He don't know how to slide the line. He don't know certain things that he need to do. So for me, that's the big thing. He got to learn some more. And I think Wentz is as he won this game. I was like, why am I going to get rid of him? What's the point of me like taking him out now on his side? And like he's still a young guy. Not dark. I mean, he's still young. So
We'll see how the Vikings handle it. The Bengals obviously need to figure something out because losing like that's not going to fly for long. Let's talk Steelers Patriots. Steelers jump out to a 14-0 lead, hang on to win 21-14. Big reason why they won is Patriots back-to-back red zone turnovers and a sloppy second half. New England 5 turnovers with 4 fumbles lost. How about that? That is sloppy, Amanda.
I mean, I had a feeling it could go either way. The Steelers team, you don't know who you're going to get from week to week. I've
Yeah.
been like, there are some teams that I don't know who they are. Like Atlanta, I have no idea who Atlanta is because we have both sides of the coin. I picked the Patriots-ish going into this one just because I wasn't awake enough to change my mind, but what a mess. I
I mean,
I don't even know what to
five
say about it.
turnovers. You're not going to win with 5 turnovers, right, John?
Well, I would say, is Mike Vrabel going to get the same? Is the same thing going to happen to him that happened to the coach Mayo before? Like
Mhm.
if they're consistently losing like this, it's the culture that is happening in New England. Like that, it's the culture that I don't know what's going on in the locker room now or what's happening. But like you said, all these turnovers, like
Four
what
fumbles is so
we're
many.
so seeing we're so and I'm sorry, these are 50-50 teams. These two teams playing wasn't supposed to be amazing. We
Yeah.
were expecting, like, we were thinking because they got Aaron Rodgers, it might be a blowout because New England but
No, we
these are
weren't.
two bad. These are really two bad teams if you think about it. Like they played each other. What I say every time we see a score that's close like this, it's like nah. When we think one team is way better, they played a great game. No, it's just two bad teams. T.J. Watt finally got on the sack, so that's great for him. But these teams don't have, I guess, the mentality. Like we don't see mentality in it. We don't know what we're going to get. It's like they're happy just to complete a pass. They're happy to get a touchdown. They're happy to do this, but we don't see it like being a consistent thing. Like even with Kansas City now, even though they're not the Kansas City we're used to, they're still Kansas City. Like you still feel in the back of your mind that Kansas City, like these teams are just like we got a lot of players just stuck on Pittsburgh now. Like a lot of times you have to check and see 14. I thought it was DJ. No, that's 4. That's no, he's number 4 now. He's number 14. Hold on, the quarterback's in. Okay, who's okay? They still got Watt, right? Okay, we still got Watt, so they're still good on that. It's like watching this game. It was just like I'm trying to figure out who's on the Patriots and who's on, because it's like it's just a smorgasbord of players just stuck on a team. But I don't know if they have that mentality yet on either side of the ball. Like both
Yeah.
teams.
And I think one of the things the Steelers offense, I mean, the first quarter they came in hot, 102 yards, but you look at the second and third quarters, they had 31 yards combined, but they're not consistent. And they only scored 14 points off of 5 takeaways.
Yeah.
How do you waste that many turnovers?
So I think the Steelers are still trying to find their way. It's a lot of new pieces, like John talked about. Aaron Rodgers is still trying to work on chemistry with the weapons around him. But if you can find a way, if you can win in Ireland, you can come back from that trip and be 3-1, despite not playing your best football at all yet. So it's the little things. I don't care if it's ugly wins. Just find a way, get to 3-1, and then try to keep building on it. Another thing is no one's running away with that AFC North. The Ravens are suddenly looking very shaky. So, and we'll get to them here in a second. And then let's go to this game. In my opinion, the game of the weekend, divisional round rematch. The 2-0 Rams at the 2-0 Eagles. Rams jump out to a 26-7 lead, and the Eagles score the final 26, including a game-winning blocked field goal returned for a touchdown by Jordan Davis. John, we talked about this a lot last year. We talked about it to begin this year. The Eagles not getting A.J. Brown involved. They waited until the third quarter to throw him a pass or to get him a catch. And then suddenly, getting A.J. Brown involved, a couple big plays seemed to open up the entire offense for the Eagles.
Well, I think it just showed that they're a Super Bowl caliber team again.
Yeah.
Simply because they had to change up. The person they talked the most trash about the Eagles is Jalen Hurts. He showed up. He showed up
Yep.
when he had, because they can say this, oh boy, cursing them out, saying that y'all got about 100 yards. He had to give them the work back, like, we won the game. They did that. This showing me that they're the team to beat this year because of just how this game played out. They were never out of the game. It was 26-7, and I still, in my mind, I was like, they probably can win this game, and they just went
Yeah.
down the shot. Sure, it was a block field goal, but I mean, at the end of the day, that's the kind of winning mentality you want to have. What you don't see in like places like, the Bengals now, like, even if you're a bad team, like, let's just keep playing. But they were just like, nah, we just been messing up. Let's start playing, y'all. Y'all ready? Shoot. And you can turn the switch on like that as a team, and Jalen Hurts come out here and play like this. It looks good. It looked good to me. I liked it.
But I don't know if the new offensive coordinator is vibing right with the team. I mean, the first half of the game, 33 yards, offensive yards in any half since 2015. You have to go back 10 years to find a half of a game where they were that poor on offense. So I don't know how we feel about this offensive coordinator. If this was a week one game, I'd be more forgiving, but that's a rough start.
Well, I think they were too focused on trying to get Saquon Barkley going in the first half. They kept running into that line. And it's like the Rams were like, we're going to sell out to stop Saquon and make
Mhm.
Jalen Hurts beat us. And in the second half, he got it going.
Well, they
But
remembered AJ Brown exists.
exactly. And Amanda, this is why you draft those big, massive Georgia defensive tackles because Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis with 2 field goal blocks in this game. I mean, I don't know how you block either of these guys one on one, and when they're both there, it's going to be a nightmare all game. You can't double both of them.
So speaking of blocking and the Eagles, the Bucks play the Eagles next week. Did you see that they signed 464-pound Desmond Watson to help them stop the tush push?
John, I mean, you agree with that on those Georgia boys, those D tackles?
Well, they showed and proved the last few years that they are great players. I mean, especially playing together. You can't even knock it.
Yeah.
Like, what you gonna say? You got that big boy Davis rumbling down. You know, every
Yeah.
D line to see stuff like that. He wasn't gonna slide. He was gonna get that touchdown. He was like, oh, things like that. But
18
like I said,
miles an hour.
yeah, but I think that shows the winning mentality they have. The last 2 weeks they played winning mentality. Like even though like, oh, they were out of the game, they should have lost. No, they won. I mean, they played a good Kansas City team. They played a good, Rams team. So this is what I'm saying. And this is the beginning of the year. They always start off slow. Last year they were terrible.
Hmm.
Like this time, so they're winning now. So I'm like, last year I was just like, man, they're gonna be horrible this year. Then they just start waking up, like you said, AJ's in the game. They got AJ playing now, and with the offensive coordinator, I think you have to learn the players too. Because everybody wants to see Saquon, and I think they kind of like we don't want to like run him down this year because we know in the end of the year we need him for that last 8 game stretch and just keep
Yeah.
pressing. Pressing. I think that is really big in their minds right now, like keeping him fresh for the year because he had 2,000 yards last year. And people think it's like most people, after you have a 2,000 yard year, you're not having another 2,000 yard year. So they kind
Yeah.
of like, let's just chill. And I think he showed them that I'm not looking for the records. I'm doing whatever we got to win. So I'll wait till the seasons get a little bit more epic. We're 9-0 or whatever, and then I can get my yards. Then I'm Saquon Barkley. I'm good.
Amanda, your Bucks, we just talked about them a little bit, almost blew it to the Jets. Another blocked field goal return for a touchdown in this game, and needed Baker Jesus Mayfield to come save the day once again. 3 straight games with 3 game winners.
In the last minute and 6 seconds of the game, a Baker Mayfield miraculous win. I am obsessed with this game. It was very stressful as someone who picked the Bucks and was rooting for the Bucks in this one. Their season has just been fun. Like it's been cinema from week one. Last minute wins, pulling it off, very clutch team. And I don't know if you noticed, he talked about it. Someone asked him about it in one of his post-game interviews. He did a lot of footwork in this one. Like you saw him, like the
Yeah.
interview was like, "Oh, I saw you cha-cha-chaing," like, and then
Mhm.
the Kelsey brothers asked him about it, like, "Have you done dance?" He's like, "I don't have time for that." But he had some really good footwork here. So shout out to his trainers for that because he was very smooth, very aware of everyone around him here. Some of his runs were fantastic.
John, how about Will McDonald with the blocked field goal return for a touchdown? That was a great play and almost single-handedly won him the game.
Yeah, I was super jealous about that because I played with the Jets, but he looked so skinny and slim, and I thought it was a DB running at first. I forgot he changed his number to 9. I'm looking like, dog, that DB is fast. I was like, hold on. And I was like, oh man, because when I played for the Jets, they wanted me like 255, and I'm like, dude, I'm heavy as hell. I can't move. And watching that young guy getting to play at a weight he feel comfortable at, and his game has stepped up every year, and showing
Yeah.
him making that play and. But at the end of the day, you know what it is. Tyrod Taylor is a great person, but you would like to have Fields back. The 2 turnovers end up being costly at the end of the game. When it's a close game and you're playing a great team like Tampa, and I hate saying it, they can take some positive out of this game. Like, and I being a defensive player, seeing a player never quit, like jumping up, blocking the kick, returning to the house. And you saw how Aaron Glenn energy was, because it was more about, this is the kind of team I want. This is what
Yeah.
I want on my team. Not because, they could have won the game. It's because they played their butts off. They played Tampa, which is supposed to be a team that we probably thought was going to run over them, but they played a good team. If you're a coach, it's like if you're watching your kids for the first time and they start playing a game, and the first time well, Mom, I don't want to shoot the three. Shoot the three, baby. They might miss it a couple times. You see them hit the three. You're like, yes. That's how Aaron Glenn is. This is what I want from y'all. Like every week, we play like this. Last week, we could have won the game. We played this week before we won. Like, this is what you want to see in the team. And like I said, I think Aaron Glenn just needs a couple of years to get the team he wants, but he definitely has the players and the mentality he wants. So this game against Miami is going to be a good game if they can still keep up that same intensity.
Yeah, it sucks. The Jets lose linebacker Quincy Williams with a shoulder injury. He's on IR, so he's gonna miss the next 4 games. But at the same time, they do trade with the Titans for corner Jarvis Brownlee. So we'll see how that affects the Jets going forward, and hopefully they can get a big win, get their first win against Miami.
Yeah.
Amanda, a tough test for the Bucs. They get to 3-0, but they're hosting the Eagles. I know you're going to be all over watching this game closely. How are you feeling about their chances going up against the defending champs?
I don't think they can leave it to the last minute and 6 seconds to pull off a win. I think it'll be a fun matchup. I think it'll test both teams, and kind of highlight any areas they need to work on, because there's a very strong chance these two teams meet up in the postseason.
Yeah, maybe this is the NFC Championship game preview. We'll see.
Got the wrong Bay team in there for the NFC Championship, but whatever.
Raiders at Commanders. This wasn't my favorite game of the weekend. I barely watched this one. Commanders jump out to a 34-10 lead and win easily, 41-24. I picked the Raiders because I didn't trust in Marcus Mariota. Defense couldn't stop him. How do you allow 41 points to Marcus Mariota, John? How does that happen?
Well, first of all, he's a vet. I mean, we're acting like Marcus, he was just trash. Every quarterback that comes to Atlanta kind of be trash. Just gotta be honest. Like they don't stick to the older quarterbacks long enough to really give them an opportunity to become good in the scheme. And they're not trying to worry about his legs as much as what he can do with his arm. Like when he was here, it was like, oh, we're gonna let him run, we're gonna let him run, we're gonna let him run. Like only time he really ran was in the red zone when it made sense. But like he was putting the ball where he needed to be. And Solomon McClaren back, even Luke McCaffrey getting into the game and getting a couple catches. He did a great job, getting the ball out. And I think that the Raiders, they're just the Raiders. And I hate to say it, but it's like you're looking at the coaches and you're looking at the stuff, and they just don't look like they're into the game at all. Gentry, he's going to be a good player, but the offensive line had to step up. Geno Smith just looked like it's like once the league got big, you can see like they're just like they just get deflated so quick. Like their team just seems deflated,
Yeah. Amanda, Ashton Genty, just 5 catches so far this year. They need to do a better job of getting him the ball, in space. I'd like to see some catches go his way. But how about this? A crazy stat on Ashton Genty. 144 rushing yards so far this year, 145 after contact.
After contact, yeah. That's crazy to me. Like he's sturdy. My issue in this game is the Raiders defense, because their offense didn't have a bad game. Trey Tucker, 145 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had an amazing game. The Commanders defense wasn't really doing too much to stop him there. How do you let the same guy catch 3 touchdowns? Geno Smith, almost 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. I think this loss, I mean, if you look at the stats and compare everything on paper, it's that Raiders defense that kind of let him down here, because their offense did not have a bad game.
Yeah, that's facts. And John, you're talking about Marcus Mariota. The Falcons might see him in week 4. Commanders at the Falcons, and Mariota could start once again. Do you think Atlanta can get revenge?
Not if they play like they did the last 2 weeks. I think I said it up here. Everybody was just so happy about the win, but I'm like, 5 field goals. It was 1 touchdown and 5 field goals. That's what I was concerned about last week. And this week, they just – only thing you had to do was play cover 2. Like, literally, the only thing Carolina did was play cover 2. They just Carolina literally just sat their corners right here. They played cover two and they played man every now and then, but it was literally just cover two, set in the flats, and just wait for them to like check down and try to throw it to the running back. So they definitely have to open the playbook up. I think firing Hillard was just Ike Hillard was just a cover up because you're saying it's the receiver's fault, but I mean, quarterback has to force it in there somewhere. So I think the Redskins might be the better team in the situation, and I'm not saying that because I'm hating on because look, they've piled enough stuff on with the Falcons. Like I live in Atlanta, so I hear so much bad stuff. But they're going to have to open their playbook. Like they're literally going to have to open their playbook because I said like just like literally they didn't score. They didn't get past the 30-yard line. Like that's ridiculous. They really did not even have one red zone attempt. So that's big. And then the kicker missed 2 field goals. So everybody's talking about Romo and everybody begging for Koo to come back, but he just signed with the Giants. So it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird next week if they don't open up that playbook. Like they literally got to open it up. And I think you can't blame the receiver coach for that.
Do you blame or what do you think of Raheem Morris saying that there's no quarterback competition? He's not going to give Kirk Cousins a chance. Penix really struggled in this game. Is it just to be expected? A young quarterback, he doesn't have a lot of starts yet. He's still growing. Would you be open to Cousins competing for that job?
Only way is injury. That's about it. But besides that, no, you stick it out with him. You stick it out with him. Not saying Kirk might not be the better guy, but okay, this is how my season's going. Like we're gonna put in his hand. We promised this guy that he was a starter, and just give it to him because honestly, Carolina, he looked uncomfortable. He looked uncomfortable the whole game, and I was like, they got to do something different. Like even like everybody and their mom is tired of that damn pistol. Like because they do it like 90% of the time. They try to run the ball, so they losing their play action stuff because people kind of know, okay, they're running this out of the pistol, they're running this out of the pistol. So they don't have anything under center that can really shock anybody. And I think me personally, instead of doing the zone play with Bijan, start running some power ball. Like I know y'all like to see him cut back and do it, but he started like I think I watched on ESPN. They said he's starting 7-8 yards back, and he have to get to the line. By the time he gets to the line, people are able to get to him. Like just run some power plays. Put Algiers in as fullback. Put anybody in at fullback. And just run some power ball. Get him like consistent on going downhill. Instead of like all the cutting. I said this last year and I said this year. He cut so much that he really can't get a chance to break because by the time he get like finished cutting, the other defenders have time to get off their blockers.
And Amanda, another thing that frustrated me about this game, it's one thing for the Falcons offense to struggle because sometimes you have a bad game or whatever, but the Falcons defense looked so good against Minnesota. And no sacks in this game, and I wanted to see a lot more. That was looked like their strength with Leonard Floyd and those pass rushers, Jalen Walker and those guys. I mean, what did you think, Amanda? I was so shocked by the outcome of this game.
So I don't think the Falcons played a good game against Minnesota. I think Minnesota just forgot that there was a game that day.
Yeah.
You go back to week 1. That's my issue with Atlanta is week 1, they stayed in it down to the wire. Baker Mayfield had to do an amazing comeback right at the end to pull off the win in that one. And that's who I thought we were getting with Atlanta this season. I was excited because they do have a lot of individual talent. There's a lot of growth potential, a lot of talent on paper on that team. Week 1, I was so on board with that Atlanta team. And they just, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to all that talent. They had rhythm in week 1, and then to go from that to 2 weeks later being completely shut out 30-0 by the Panthers. Yeah. Who is this team? How are we supposed to pick games when you can go neck to neck with Baker Mayfield, put up 20 points, barely lose that game to 0 points against the Panthers?
Yeah. Well, and it's going to be a big prove-it game next week. Like you said, John, you're at home. You're taking on the Commanders, maybe with your former quarterback. This is a great opportunity for Raheem Morris to get up their ass in the locker room, be all over this team, and hope that they show up and play a great game and get a big home win. You know what I mean?
Well, me personally, I wouldn't even show my team this tape. Like personally, I've had games like that before. We just we're not going to watch this tape. We just know we got to get better.
Clean slate, do better.
Yeah, I might show a couple mistakes in the personal meetings, but team meeting we ain't watching this tape, y'all, because it's not.
It's depressing.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
gonna
I
take this
love
out of our memory. We're gonna move on from this game. Like that's a loss. We got our ass kicked. Ain't no point in us sitting here watching just over and over and trying to say. And I'm not dog cursing anybody. I know that's not my team. Like we're gonna go straight to the Commanders and we're gonna go to this like f that game because look, it
it.
was the game of the year. We're not gonna sit here and dwell about it. I'm not gonna sit here and get up your ass. I'm not gonna cuss you out. I'm still coach the way I coach. I'm gonna let y'all know that we are looking for more now. But I'm not gonna stress it like that because sometimes your team just comes out flat, and they just came
Yeah,
out flat. Like first time outdoors, they got Carolina, they had a new turf. It's a lot of things that you can get in your mind, and it's a whole different environment from being in a dome and stuff. So I'm trying to give them credit like that. I'm gonna uplift my team as much as possible. I'm not
yeah,
gonna I'm not going to try to break them down because in Atlanta, you're going to see so much stuff. People talking about how terrible Penix is or why are y'all doing this. As a coach, like if my kid do something wrong, I'm gonna learn what they did wrong and I'm gonna talk to them about it and then we're gonna go the way. But I'm not gonna sit here and keep pushing in their face like you're terrible, you're this, and this. They don't need to hear that right now. All they need to do is just move on and let's get ready for the Commanders.
yep. I agree with that a lot. Um, but big win for the Panthers, and we'll see how they look at New England in Week 4. I expect the Patriots will win that game, but it's an opportunity for the Panthers to get back to 500. So we'll see. Amanda, how about Texans at Jags? This was not a pretty game. Jags win 17-10. Houston drives down to the 37-yard line. I was hoping that C.J. Stroud would lead a clutch game-tying drive and send this thing to overtime, but he gets intercepted. Really, it looks like two bad teams, and I did not enjoy watching this game, Amanda.
No, both teams have a lot of areas they can improve. Rough game. I mean, it's the Texans being 0 and 3,
I never saw this coming.
but releasing your starting safety after week 3 says a lot about how the team is doing internally.
Yeah, John, what in the world is that move? You're 0-3 and you cut one of your best defensive players?
Um, from what I told you this, Alex, you can see how much he was talking on the off season and all this
Mhm.
other stuff. I would hate to be in the locker room with someone like that. We already,
Yeah.
because I know what his mentality is of how he talking. If you're talking like this in front of everybody, that's like me saying, going to another podcast and be like, oh, Amanda and Alex, man, they're horrible. They do this. Like, I'm glad I'm with y'all. Like when I was with them, when I was with so and so, but being with them, it's like I always got to pick up where Amanda's dropping off this, and I'm trying to. I come here and doing this, and then you have to come in the meeting room, and he can say one thing, and we know like everybody's had his job before. There's this one person that dog curses everybody. They come into work
Yeah.
like everything and just be all in their face, and then you come in there and then you playing like crap. You're not playing all pro. You're not doing this, but you want to sit here. I want this kind of food. I want this, and they're like, dude, like you're doing too much. So it makes sense, and like especially when you have a head coach that has been a player. And I'm sure he's talked to him. I'm sure he said a lot of stuff to him, but it gets to a certain point that we're not stupid. Like you called it out. Like Amanda said, it's internal. And if
Yeah.
you can have that one, I played with a guy, and I'm not trying to name drop anybody, but I played with a guy named Ray Edwards. Ray came to our team, and he just had a bad attitude. Like it was just like Minnesota, I did this. Minnesota, I did this, and he was like, man, you in Atlanta now, bro. We do it kind of this way. And it got to a certain point. It was like we can sit here and try to, cooperate with him and try to make him feel comfortable, or we can just let him go. And they had to make the opportunity to let him go.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if these teams can figure it out. At least Jacksonville's 2-1, despite all the drama and stuff. But yeah, Amanda, I never would have anticipated the Texans being 0-3, and they're at home against the Titans, so maybe they finally get a win in Week 4.
Yeah, maybe.
Um, C.J. Stroud
I
is
don't want to
C.J.
watch that
Stroud.
game. I have no desire to watch that game. You guys can give me the cliff notes.
C.J. Stroud has not looked good either. I think not having Joe Mixon coming back is going to help. And I think not having Tank Dell is a huge loss. He had a lot
Yeah.
of natural chemistry with Tank
He had
Dell.
such good chemistry with them. So,
Yeah.
I mean, ugh, it's it just sucks when like a young quarterback comes in, he's got a great duo, they're working really well together, and then They're just not able to play together anymore.
And then John, my guy Trevor Lawrence is 2-1, and if they can beat the 49ers, get to 3-1, maybe Trevor Lawrence is touchdown Jesus after all.
But have they played good teams yet, though? Like, honestly,
No, not really.
I'm just saying, honestly, have they played a good team yet? Like, they haven't played a good team, and so Trevor Lawrence threw for 200 yards, no touchdowns. Oh yeah, he's great. I see you. He's on all cylinders. But he played, and it's bad. He played Houston, and like last year, it's been like he played Houston, and they beat him. Oh yeah, we'll be like woohoo. Now we like, and
Yeah.
so he hasn't played a good team yet. So we'll see this week. Like when you watch the games, kind of like a man, like we don't want to really watch these games, but we want to talk about it. We want to see, well, I guess Travis Hunter played well because they definitely spotlighted him playing good cornerback, like 2 plays that he locked somebody down. They made sure they showed it on NFL Network so people see, oh, look at Travis playing so well. That's why they won. Man, come on now. Like, this team is not a good team to me yet. The record does not say anything because the teams they've played have not been great. And I think they slipped through the cracks right now. I can see this team at the end of the year maybe winning 8 games or 9 games at most. And that's going out if every other team is playing horrible like they're playing so far.
Yeah.
And
We'll see.
a lot of awkward football.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Yeah,
awkward, let's talk about this Broncos Chargers game. That game was awkward, disjointed. It was not a smooth game.
No, not at all. 10-0 Chargers lead. The Broncos rally and go up 17-10. Chargers found a way to win though, 23-20. Justin Herbert, I mean, credit to Justin Herbert. He's looked really good this season. I think he's in the MVP candidate. And much like Baker Mayfield, Amanda, Justin Herbert's been clutch.
Mm-hmm. He's pulled off some last minute moves that were really good. I I'm getting on board with him. I never disliked him, but I do think he and Harbaugh are such a good pair together. I
Yeah.
think he's flourishing there. I mean, and the rookie running back, Omarion Hampton,
Yeah.
140 yards for him, great game for him. And it was nice to see Keenan Allen pop off a little bit so far this season too.
Yeah. Keenan Allen and Quentin Johnston is starting to get going as well, John. Are you seeing what are you thinking of the Chargers? They're out to a 3-0 start and they're at the Giants. So the Chargers could easily be 4-0.
Well, they did
Uh
just lose Najee Harris for the season with a torn Achilles, so
that's
that's going to be
but
something they got to overcome.
but 3 wins all in the division is a great start to the season, right, John?
Yes. I'm wondering what's going on in Bronco defense. That's what kind of
Yeah.
really, Benito had a good game, I guess, but, their defense is, I don't know what's they're lacking because they have pretty much everybody back, but they just don't look as unique. They don't look as scarce as they did before. And I'm wondering what's going on with that. I don't know if it's the defensive calling or it's the players are just too lax. They just pay people on the off season and people got big deals and stuff like that. And it seems like, sometimes being too good it takes away from your real team. You know what I mean? Like we were so good last year. People, y'all ain't created a name. You're not the Orange Crush. You're not anybody that's people scared of now because and not taking from Herbert. Herbert's playing his ass off. I really, like I said, I told you last week. I'm on the bandwagon with him this year. So I
Yeah.
think that he's playing well and he's playing against a so-called good defense that we've seen in the past. So I'm just trying to wonder what's going on with the Broncos because they seem like they're a little too comfortable when I watch them play. I don't think Najee Harris is going to be a very big loss for the Chargers because they still have Herbert because he's been 1,000-yard back, I know, but it's not been no 60-yard run, no 40. So I think they can find somebody to take his spot because Herbert is pretty much it's his team. Herbert want to be like the Josh Allen type, not an MVP yet though. He want to be a Josh Allen type, but this is going to show whether he is or not.
Yeah. A quick shout out to this game though for having the cleanest kicking of any NFL game this weekend. There were no missed field goals, there were no mixed extra points, there were no blocked field goals, there were no blocked field goals, ran back for a touchdown. It was beautiful, perfect kickers on both teams.
A good opportunity for the Broncos defense to get right. In comes Jake Browning on Monday Night Football. So take advantage of Jake Browning's turnovers and beat up on the Bengals and get to 500, get back to 2-2. The Let's go Saints at Seahawks, the game of the weekend. Just kidding. Seahawks jump out to a 21-0 first quarter lead and blow out the Saints 44-13. I would take a victory lap, but I don't think it's much of a victory saying the Saints were going to suck this year. I mean, I just don't see the talent on this team, John, and they no-show in this game, whether it's Spencer Rattler or when they bring in Tyler Shuck. To me, the biggest thing to take away from this, if you're Kellen Moore, of course you're a hot offensive coordinator. You want to be a head coach. Don't just go to whoever is available. The Saints team is decimated. There's no talent, very little talent on this roster, right?
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying about the NFL this year. It's so unpredictable, and I don't like it. Like, you see them play a great game against San Francisco. Yeah, San Francisco didn't have their starting quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. But then you come down to Seattle, which we didn't think Seattle was going to be a super team this year. You know, we knew Darnold was going to do whatever he had to do, but we didn't put him in this kind of aspect. But then you come to two teams that are in the division at NFC South look like trash this week. Like, and they're gonna have to play each other eventually. Is it gonna what are we gonna see? Are we gonna see this 30-30 thing, or is it gonna this? One I'm trying to figure out. Like, am I not gonna know what the NFL is like until week 8 or week 9? Because I don't like seeing stuff like this. You play good against San Francisco, then you go to the same person, another team that's in their division, and you stink it up, and you just stink it up. Like, we figured y'all was gonna be like this all year. Don't give me like gold and then give me this trashy ass game. Like, oh my God, Seattle is just so great. I'm like, no, this is not how football. Like, this football season is messing my head up, man. Like, I like seeing scores like this because it doesn't make sense because Seattle is not this good, but the Saints are that bad. But then you play San Francisco like you're good, and now you come out here to Seattle and play like this is what we really are. So I don't like watching football like this and seeing it. It gives me an uncomfortable feeling because I like to be comfortable when I say, yeah, this is going to be like this. This is going to be like this.
Yeah,
but then you come
know
like
who they are.
the
Yeah.
game, you're like, what the F am I watching? Like, why is this? Like, can they just like not like? I don't know.
So this week was so weird. This week was so weird that the Browns beating the Packers has triggered an investigation of match fixing because there's no way the Browns should have beat the Packers. And that game had a record amount of money bet on it, $1.1 billion. It broke records. And then the Packers lost unexpectedly. So now, like, how shitty does it have to feel to be playing for a team that, like, you win an unexpected game over a really good opponent and you get accused of them throwing the game? Like, no, maybe we won on purpose. Like, that's crazy to me. I have one note about the Saints game. So the Saints are already getting their asses kicked. How come the Saints get penalized for a false start on a tush push, but the Eagles don't?
Because no one wants to watch the Saints tush push. We all like to watch the Eagles tush push. No one wants to see Spencer Rattler, quarterback, sneaking.
Yeah, but that lineup looked very similar to what the Eagles lineups look like when they do it, and there's no penalties on those, so that's a little suspicious.
Yeah, we all see the Eagles are offsides. The NFL needs to look at that. Seattle fans are going to tell you that they're for real. They're 2-1, but they got a chance to prove it on Thursday night at the Cardinals. We'll see who can get that win and get closer to the 49ers. Let's talk about Cowboys at the Bears. My Bears jump out to a 14-3 lead. The Cowboys tie it at 14 all, and then the Bears pull away to win 31-14. Amanda, Matt Eberflus pregame says, I know how to cover the Bears. After coaching them for a couple of years, apparently not, as Caleb Williams goes for a career-high 142 quarterback rating.
Yeah, absolutely no pass rush there. I'm really excited for Green Bay's bounce back game against Dallas next week. I love the internet joking about how Eberflus is finally developing Caleb Williams. You sent it to me while I was delirious on cold meds, and I did not remember that he was in Dallas now. So apologies for missing that joke and ruining the punchline for you. But what a great game for Caleb Williams. I mean, his receivers were getting open, no turnovers, 4-touchdown game, his second one in his career. He looked fantastic.
Yeah, good to see. And for Dallas, John, once you lose CeeDee Lamb early in the game, the Cowboys' offense is not the same, and we're already seeing cracks in George Pickens in Dallas. Slamming his helmet on the sideline, not catching a pass that hit him in the hands that turned into an interception. See, George Pickens needs CeeDee Lamb out there to help him be the wide receiver too, not have all the responsibility. How are you seeing it in Dallas? Losing CeeDee, and he might be out 3 to 4 weeks too.
I think I just feel like a lot of teams, and I'm gonna bring it back to Cincinnati and losing Burrow. They lost Parsons, so now they have a reason to say they're terrible. That's all it
Yeah.
is. I think all that feel bad for us. We don't have our pass rusher now, and they're not just playing. I don't give a damn about all this. Like y'all can go ahead and talk about this game. You talk about it because it's your team. Because I don't even want this game right here. You talk more about it because it's just like Dallas just always finds a way to, oh, well, we don't have this, or oh my God, oh my God. I don't this
Always
game
an
right
excuse.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. They gonna use this like so this go ahead, you talk about your Bears because I don't
I mean, I didn't even pick the Bears to win this game. I picked Dallas. Like I had no faith in my Bears going in. It's encouraging to see Caleb Williams have a great game, throw 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. It was cool to see Ben Johnson. He must have been listening to watching our podcast because immediately he gets Colston Loveland and Luther Burden going in this game. So that's nice to see using the rookies. But the Bears at the Raiders. We'll see if they can get this win. But for the Cowboys, I just think the Cowboys, they lose CeeDee Lamb. They lose their rookie, Tyler Booker, both high ankle sprains. I don't have any faith in Dallas. I think they're going to get their ass kicked against Green Bay on Sunday night. So this is kind of a throwaway game. Let's go Cardinals at 49ers, a battle of two 2-0 teams. I picked the Cardinals last second. I switched it up trying to catch Amanda so she wouldn't gain 2 games on me. But it backfires as former Bear Eddie Pinheiro hits the game winner to just drive the stake into my heart and put me down 4 games, Amanda.
How much were you hoping for another blocked field goal there?
Oh, so bad. Or a miss. Eddie Pinheiro misses a lot of kicks.
Everybody else had blocked field goals except for the freaking Packers in this game. I was like, what? I thought we were just blocking all the kicks this week. What the hell?
Not cool.
So what is the 49ers plan at quarterback? Mac Jones with a PCL sprain.
It looks like Brock Purdy is going to be back.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there was a gap there between the two of them.
No, I think he could have played on Sunday, but they kept him out precautionary.
Whatever sacrifices this team made, I think they did the reverse of what the Mariners did with the Etsy Witch. And they sacrificed the rest of the team to keep Christian McCaffrey healthy because, oh my God, what a hospital ward San Francisco is this.
And they're 3-0 despite all that. They just
I
keep
said
winning.
they're the best at next man up. It doesn't matter who's injured. They're going to figure out a way to do it because they've been doing this for years. The team is always injured and they always sort it out.
John, why do you think that happens? The Niners are 3-0. Can they keep it up?
Who they play last week? The Saints.
Saints, yeah.
I told y'all the Cardinals is not a good team. I don't okay. Give me something that we can talk about every week. We don't really I'll be honest with y'all, Amanda. Let's be real, y'all. We don't know what the fuck to talk about. Sorry for cursing. Because no team has showed us what team they are.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
I want to sit here and be like, oh, yeah, well, you saw how good Arizona did this and did this and did this. Because Arizona was undefeated to this game. And then you got San Francisco barely beating New Orleans. And then New Orleans getting their butt kicked by Seattle. They get beat by Seattle. This makes no sense. It's what are y'all doing? I want to be able to be like, okay, Kyler Murray, he played it. He got Marvin Harrison Jr. He did get to Marvin Harrison Jr. He didn't play a good game. Marvin Harrison Jr. still hasn't been the receiver that we hailed him to be yet. Is it Kyler Murray's? Is it his fault? What is going on? Just give me a game that we can consistently talk. Give us a team that we see that we can break down film and really look at film and have something to talk about instead of us having to say, oh, yeah, this person got hurt. Damn. Oh, this person got hurt.
This week, the story is injuries. I mean, you look at these two teams. Nick Bosa's out for the season with a torn ACL. Yeah. James Conner's out with a major ankle. I don't know what the formal diagnosis was for the season.
Out for the season, yeah.
Almost every game had some weird kicking situation, a weird outcome. and then a player or two out for the rest of the season. It was such a weird week. And coming into this week, everyone in media was talking about the Packers, which I didn't like. I don't want too much attention. But
Mhm.
this week really threw everyone off their game because, I mean, let's look at the next couple games in our lineup here. What the hell was this week? These outcomes
Yeah,
were all my picks are never this bad. I think the NFL, I don't know what happened. It was like
mine,
opposites
my
day
picks
or
are never
something.
as bad too. It was just a
Your
weird
picks are
week.
just bad. That's a lie.
John, John, speaking of teams, we know who they are. Who are the Kansas City Chiefs? Hey, they got to win. The Chiefs got to win.
Well, like I told you, beginning of the year, Dart need to start because
Yeah,
what I said they have James and they have Russ. Those are two quarterbacks. They're in it for like other stuff. The off the field stuff is their stuff. Get Dart in. If you're gonna waste your time, which I
yeah,
really think they're wasting their time, get the rookie, and get these people knowing each other. Like get them knowing each other. This season is done. Like
Yeah.
regardless of how y'all saying, oh, we might do this, we might do this, and the Chiefs didn't even play well and they won.
yeah, I know.
You watch the Giants last, and this shows like the Cowboys games against the Giants. Like you thinking the Giants, oh my God, they're good, they're playing well, and then you see how stinky the Cowboys really are this week, and then you see how stinky the Giants are because they lost to
You're
a bad Chiefs team. What are we watching on football right now? Someone give us a script that they wrote, whatever script is this year. Please give it to us because we're lost. Like we want to
right.
say, like, oh, so and so is so good. You know, the Falcons look great last week against the Vikings. Oh, no, scratch that. Oh my God, did you see how great the Giants look? They should have won that game against the. Oh my God, the Cowboys played great.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
scratch that. They just got their butt.
Baltimore. Baltimore's amazing. They're
Oh my
Super Bowl
God.
bound. They lost to fucking Detroit, who sucked all
Oh,
season.
oh, scratch that. Baltimore got beat. Oh, scratch that. The only person that's looking consistent now is Josh, is Tampa Bay. Like they're
Yeah,
looking at the teams that we expect them to be. Those are the teams that we're looking at. Oh, they look good. It seems like everybody is like on a startup team or something this year. Like it's no team that just like, hey, no, it literally is just like a startup team because we're not getting
Yeah.
consistent football yet. We're ready to see who's going to be the good team. Philly is playing well, and like even Amanda said, they're not playing great, but they won the game. It's like it's stuff that we. And I know it's the beginning of the year. Maybe I'm getting too excited, but usually at the beginning of the year, you will have a team that's 4-0 and they're looking good, and they might falter at the end. There's
yeah,
no team that's just like we're looking like, wow, they got it together. Like, what the hell were y'all doing on the off season? Like, please
Hmm.
give us the playbook that y'all would give us a script so we can just calm down. Like, I can't tell this. I can't talk trash about this game because both teams look sloppy still. We still
yeah,
haven't seen. We still haven't seen Kelsey like we wanted to see. We haven't seen him become the guy we wanted to get.
He
It
got
was
brick
just
hands. He got brick hands this season, though.
it's just
yeah,
too bad. It's literally just two bad teams we're playing. And I'm not trying to talk. I love Mahomes. But these were two bad teams.
Not
Just
as
watching
much
the
as
game,
Collinsworth.
it
Oh
was
my
so hard to
God.
watch the game. It was so hard to watch the game. I'm like, dude, y'all playing the Giants, man. Like, come on. Like, and then I was mad at the Giants. I'm like, y'all just put 30 something up. Now y'all can't even. I'm like, dude, what are y'all doing? And everybody know the Chiefs defense is not like that. Like, come
Mhm.
on, y'all. Like, give me some football, please.
I will
Bro,
say the most consistent team in the NFC besides the Bucks. Yes, I know Green Bay beat up on them in week one, but Green Bay came in to that week one matchup with all the hype, I mean, the Micah Parsons thing was fresh. It was a big deal at home. Like I think the hype kind of helped Green Bay. They were cracked out on the excitement. But I think Detroit has been pretty much who
They're
we
playing well.
expected them to be.
I
Um,
give you credit.
you look at their draft picks over the past couple of years, and coming into this one, I mean, they beat up on the Bears last week, which is absolutely as expected. Beating the Ravens this week. This is who Detroit should have been in week one. I'm glad they lost, and I'm glad they weren't ready to go against Green Bay, obviously. But they came in and took advantage of Baltimore being down key players. I mean, they were missing
yeah.
Kyle Van Noy. Who else was
Namdi
out?
Matabuki.
Card.
Um, who else? Patrick Ricard.
Yep.
You look at Derrick Henry's struggles, especially in the red zone. Not
Hmm.
having that big ass fullback Patrick Ricard, I think, is part of the problem there.
Yeah,
Namdi
he's used to having a
Matabuki.
blocker there.
Yeah, the Lions ran all over the Ravens. If you have Matabuke, that helps a lot.
Hmm. But some
So
creative play calls, that handoff to Amon-Ra flip to Gibbs was
that was
beautiful. And
nasty. Yeah,
Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery now have the most games with rushing touchdowns by both running backs of any duo in NFL history.
What I like,
ridiculous.
what I like about Detroit now, they're being quiet assassins now. They're not.
That's what I wanted Green Bay to do. I didn't want the
They're
media shit.
not,
Like,
they're not like after they lost that game, you don't see them really trying to do the mask and try. They
mm-hmm.
celebrate and stuff, yeah, sure, but they're kind of like just playing football. It's
Yeah.
not about like all this dancing and
But they
doing all
got
this
too
stuff.
hyped last year.
Yeah,
Last
yeah,
year they
exactly.
were too excited and it bit them in the ass. So they've
Yeah,
learned their lessons.
I think that loss got their head coaching like, look, let's just punch people in the mouth.
Hmm.
Let's just play football. Let this talk for us. Let's not worry about all this extracurricular stuff. Let's just play football because they look like a more sound team.
Hmm.
They have their trick plays, sure, but the plays they are making are sensible plays.
Hmm.
And even the defense is playing better. And everyone is like, I love to see when you have everybody on the same accord. And I was watching the game and I said, they look like they're on the same accord. They're just not being as verbal about it. Yeah, we'll go for it on fourth down. Maybe we'll do this. But it's not like we're trying to bully people right now. Right now, we coasted. And
Yeah.
I like how they're playing now. I like them just playing football. Just
Yeah.
we don't have to be the highlight of the year, nothing like that. Let's just keep chopping people off and let people just see what we're doing. Sure, Green Bay got us. Oh well.
Yeah, and that's week one. Week one is your mulligan week. It doesn't really count. Like it's still so early in the season. And you look at how well they spread the ball around. I mean, Montgomery had 151 yards, Jahmyr Gibbs 99 yards, Amon-Ra 77 yards, Laporta 33. Like they spread the ball around. They took advantage of all their weapons. They weren't focused in one area. And I mean, we talk about the performance and the performative aspects of football. Lamar Jackson just seemed like he was trying to do too much himself and not
Yeah.
trusting his receiving core, not trusting his running backs. Hand the
Well,
ball off more.
I think he was feeling the pressure to put up 50, 40, 50 points because the defense couldn't stop anybody. And I was complaining the entire game that the Ravens are too talented defensively to be
Hmm.
getting dog walked. But, they couldn't stop anything. And I'm going to go ahead and say this, and I'm not rooting for this or whatever, but if the Ravens defense doesn't look better against the Chiefs in week 4, I think the Ravens are going to fire the defensive coordinator, Zach Orr. I know they were missing some pieces, but that defense hasn't looked good this year at all.
Well, I think Baltimore just needed to go back to the basics. I saw so much gold teeth and chains and shit. I was like,
Yeah.
man, why don't we just play football? It's like y'all know y'all on a spotlight, so y'all more worried about what y'all looking like. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they
Like it
thought
was
it was going to be easy.
I'm not trying to knock people. People wear gold teeth, they wear the chains and all that. But let's get back to football. Don't worry about what chain you got on. Don't worry about what you got your grill in or something like that because you're gonna be on TV. Play football. Like let's get back to just like handing the ball off till we get back into that little. We can like we're 10-1. Yeah, we put the gold chains on, have a good time because we on prime time football. But it's like I saw that, and I'm not knocking it. Like trust me, I want everybody to have a good time, but it ain't as cute when you're losing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You got 4 chains on, you're fumbling the ball, but you got grill in. And I'm not saying he's not focused on the thing, but that's part of your that's part of what you getting ready to play. You go, oh, I gotta get my grill. That's taken away from football. You don't worry about your mouthpiece. Don't worry about all this. Oh, I gotta make sure I got my grill in for the game. Like I'm not saying that what is stopping this team, but focus on football for a minute, man. Just focus on football. Don't worry about all this other stuff. The outside stuff can slow you down so much.
I truly believe the Ravens thought that this game was going to be easy. I
Right.
think because the last time they played the Lions, they beat them 38-6, and the Lions hadn't beat the Ravens since 2005. So,
The Lions putting up exactly 38 is beautiful.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
cocky going into this game. Like the Ravens have this one in the bag because they've had so much. I just felt like they had Detroit's number, and I think mentally they weren't ready to play football, and the Lions were. The Lions were ready to come in and punch them in the mouth, and so a good win for the Lions and Ravens Chiefs in Week 4. Whoever loses is going to be feeling the heat at 1-3. So it's a big early season game for these two teams. Quickly, I know this is a longer episode. Let's talk about Week 4, Thursday night football tomorrow night. The 2-1 Seahawks at the 2-1 Cardinals. Uh,
No.
John, you look like you know exactly what's going to happen.
No, I don't. That's the problem. Like, who knows?
Exactly. I
Like,
don't know who they are. I
okay,
will say that the last five head-to-head matchups, Seattle's 5-0.
There we
Different
go.
quarterback,
Different
different lineup.
quarterback.
But
Yeah.
my common sense, like watching this week, sure, we probably like, oh, they should kill the Cardinals because the Cardinals, this should be just a wipe through. Watch this game gonna be like 28-27 or some weird thing. It's
Yeah.
just so it fluctuates so much. If the Cardinals come to play, if Calais Ham plays a good game, if they get up for the game, they should be good. But I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I don't know, man. We might see some block kicks, we might see some flea flickers,
Yeah.
we're gonna see. So this season has been so weird, and it's consistent. So whatever we see on Thursday, we're gonna see on Sunday. So if the quarterback throws 3 picks, they're gonna be 4 quarterbacks that throw 3 picks. If they 5 sacks, it's gonna be somebody have 5 sacks, and it's just like it's consistent. If we just like watch what the other team do on Thursday and just look see, that's what's gonna happen on Sunday. That's pretty much what I'm seeing right now. So I can't tell you who I think is gonna win because I have no clue. So y'all leave me out of it.
the only weird thing that hasn't happened yet this season is a tie. So maybe we'll get our in-division tie. Those are always the fucking worst. I remember when Green Bay and Minnesota tied, and then they were like neck and neck coming into the postseason. I
Why
will
are you
curse.
taking words out of my mouth, Amanda?
Oh, sorry. I was like, I will curse that division with an in-division tie just to fuck with them.
If that happens, you're a witch.
If they tie, we got to cut this out of the podcast, though. Like, you can't leave this posted.
No, absolutely not. Because I'm going on record. I'm picking a tie. I've seen these two teams tie before. I remember watching Cardinals Seahawks, and it tied. I'm picking a tie. Absolutely. Amanda, you called a tie earlier this year. It didn't happen, but
It didn't,
we're gonna
yeah.
see one eventually.
Isn't that Chargers Raiders?
Yeah.
I want an in division one. None of this like AFC, NFC. Like, nah, fuck up the division just for fun.
Yeah.
So who you guys taking? Are we all going tie?
No, I'm gonna pick Seattle. Just
All right.
because.
I got you. Did I say anything?
I heard about Arizona. Did you?
I honestly don't know, but I'll take Seattle just because of what they did last week. But like I said, I don't know what team is gonna come out here, man. Like football is so weird to me now. Like I'm glad
The
I don't
NFL
gamble.
is drunk.
I'm glad I don't gamble anymore because I'd have been crazy.
This is why I don't gamble, because then I second guess myself and then my picks are garbage.
Yeah. It's so hard these days. I'm going Seahawks too, but I'm rooting for a tie, and I think there's a good shot for it. So
So fun. I just want to see toddler Kyler Murray with his tiny little baby legs scampering around.
thanks,
Scary.
guys. As always, AAA kills it every single week, and we're gonna be bringing it to you all season long. Appreciate you guys as always. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and peace out.